Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Today we're going to do a cutting board, charcuterie board, whatever you want to call it. I had a person contact my wife and ask me about making her a cutting board. So I decided I'd do a video on it. Running out of some ideas, and I would like to see my subscribers or my viewers throw me some ideas of what you would like to see to help this channel grow. So welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Please share, subscribe, like, and let's get this channel to grow. And please leave some comments below to give me some ideas of your thoughts, good, bad, indifferent, what you thought of some of the videos so far, and we'll go from there. So as I said, today we're going to do a cutting board. So I got some scrap material I dug out. Let's get started on it. Hold tight. We'll go over to the bench and start laying some things out. All right, as you can see, I got some scrap wood out of my scrap pile. Some of it's already been cut down. I got some purple heart here, some maple, purple heart, Bacoya, Paduke, piece of walnut. So I just kind of was laying this out and thinking about it and thought this would be a good piece there. So I've already kind of cut, before I decided to do the video, I cut some of the stuff up a little bit. My Paduke, I cut that up, purple heart, Bacoya, purple heart, and some Paduke there. But what I thought I would do, thinking about putting a piece of maple, actually this is hickory, putting a piece of that inside between these two. So I think I'll do that. This is a piece of maple too as well. I'll use the hickory. So basically I'm going to say that's the same thickness. That's a good thought. So I'm going to cut me probably a 1/2 inch piece off of this, 2 1/2 inch pieces. And this is roughly about 13 inches long. So let's just get started on it. I'm going to use the bandsaw today, so let's go over there and get set up. Hang tight. All right, so I'm going to do probably a 1/2 inch piece, go underneath that between them. So I'm using my bandsaw, and I don't know, I just enjoy cutting up stuff. And once you get the bandsaw set up correctly, it does a pretty good job of cleaning up this. So I'm going to go ahead and just looking this over and seeing what, I want to stay away from that. So I'm going to cut it off this side here. So let's cut this off and we'll get started. All right, we got one. Let's look at it and see how it fits and make sure it's looks good. Actually, I think that looks pretty good. I like that. I'm going to do another one over here. All right, so hang tight. Let me cut that one. Guess I could cut this on camera here. All right, here we go. All right, get you turned around here. Okay, so I'm going to put that right in there like so. Piece of hickory on there. All right, so one of the things, this is all scrap material here. Here, I'll show you something here. That's my scrap box. So I got all kinds of stuff, and you can see I dug it out, quite a bit of stuff in there. Got different lengths, different kinds of wood. So that's where all this stuff come from. So we're going to make a cutting board out of it. So as you can see, got little gaps in here. So I want to clean them up. And I'm missing a piece. Aha. Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, when I laid it out before, I had all across. So I got a piece of maple, purple heart, bacoya, hickory, padauk, and a piece of walnut in the center. I think that's kind of a good combination. It looks good. Like I said, this is roughly 13 inches long and 9.5 wide. So that's pretty nice little cutting board, I think. All right, so my next step to this project will be to clean up my glue joints. So I'm going to go over to my joiner and I'm going to face these off so I get a good clean edge to glue them together. So let's hang tight and let's go over and do that. All right, so we're at our joiner here. I'm going to run these through the joiner. Now this will get pretty loud. I got my push stick here. We're going to run this through, keep my fingers out of the way, and let's do it. All right, as you can see, that cleaned that up real nicely. Let's go over to the bench and see what the glue joint looks like. That's better. All right, so I'm going to run the rest of these through, and some of them I got to do on both sides, so I'll do that. So let's go back over to the joiner and I'll run. So this is my purple heart. We're going to run this one through on both sides because I'm gluing both sides. So here we go. All right, that's what that looks like. I'll go get another one and we'll do that one. Okay, here's my bacoya. We'll run that one through. Once you clean that up, well, that really looks nice now. Look at that. It really looks nice. So hang tight and we'll get to the second one. All right, this is my hickory. Now this one's a lot thinner, so I have to be careful with this one. This one was already jointed on this side, so it cleaned that up nice. All right, this is my padauk. I'll run this one through. And there's that. Looks pretty nice. All right, so I got another piece of padauk here to run through. My guard there got caught. That's why it stopped on me. Make sure. Yeah, there it is. All right. I'm going to continue to run the rest of them through, and then we'll be right back. All right. So here we are. Got our pieces all trimmed up and ready to roll. So next step will be to glue them together. So let's get ourselves set up to do this little gluing now. So hang tight. All right, so we're set up to glue. One of the things I'm going to do, I'm kind of going to straighten this edge up here. Piece of wood, and just kind of get it fairly straight, like that. There. Doesn't have to be perfect, just getting a good idea. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a triangle here. So I know how this goes together, like that. So now we got to put some glue on it. So I turn them all up on sides, on the face of it, like so. And this one here, we won't put any glue on this edge here, but it'll all be here. So let's get some glue going. So got some Titebond 3 glue here. We'll glue it together. And just put a strip down each one. All right. Use the God-given glue spreader you have. We just spread it out with our glue spreader. You just want to make sure everything's covered. And like that. Next. We want a little bit of squeeze out, but nothing spectacular. So just continue to spread my glue out. And this works great if you plan on robbing a bank. You spread a bunch of glue out, it'll cover your fingerprints up and they can't track you. So, not that I telling everybody to rob a bank, but you know, times are tight and you got to do what you got to do sometimes, you know. So, but I get it, you know. But I know when I do this, it's always gets all my fingers, and I spend the next day or so picking it off my fingers. And since I got glue on my hands, I can't pause the video while I do this because I know this is kind of boring, but I don't want to get glue all over everything. So you're stuck watching me spread my glue. There's little pieces of wood there that I'm pulling off so that I get a good glue joint. One thing about it is you don't want to starve your glue joints, so make sure you got plenty of glue on it. So And the other thing, you want to make sure you got plenty of clamps. So one can never have too many clamps. So we just keep spreading our glue out. And last piece here, this purple heart. Oh. All right. That will take care of that. I'll be right back. I want to wash my hands off. All right, so we got our glue up, and I just washed my hands. So we're going to turn these around, put them up against each other. Make sure everything's lined up. Put my little stick down here to get everything square again, or close to it as best I can. All right, now we're going to put some clamps on it. So I'll put these clamps on it here, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to put a bunch of clamps on this. So I'm going to turn this so I can get my clamps on there. And you can see I get a little bit of squeeze out, but that's all right. Come over to the edge here so I can tighten it. There. All right, before I get carried away, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it down to make sure they're all fairly close to being level. All right, now we'll tighten them up again, and then I'll flip it over and put two from the other side. All right, now I'm going to flip it. Comes the fun part. Yep, didn't get this one tight enough. All right, now I'll put two more clamps on it. Put one here. I'll put one there. I think I'm off. Well, yeah. There we are. Make sure everything's tight. This one don't seem to be tight. I just don't have the strength like I used to have in my younger years. Guess that's the price you get for getting old. Don't have the strength. There. All right. So then I'll set this up and let it dry, and we'll be right back. Hang tight. All right. Well, unfortunately, it takes a while for that glue to dry, and I had this one and I had already started. So I figure I'll show you the rest of the process with this one, and we'll go from there. So this is another cutting board I had. This one here happens to be cherry, maple, walnut, maple, and cherry. So that's what this one is. It's a little different than the one you just see me glue up, but nevertheless, same thing. So the next step, what we got to do is we're going to run this through the planer and clean this up on the planer. So let's get that set up and we'll go from there. So hang tight. All right, well, here's my planer. I got to turn the dust collector on this, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge here to hear from me. But this has got an indicator here underneath. So what I do is I lower this down till it touches. You see my little gauge there? Till it touches. Get it up. Okay, so it touches, and I back it off, and then leave it at that for a minute. So let me go turn my dust collector on, and then once I'm done, then I'll shut it off and talk a little bit. But let's get that going here. So it's going to be a little bit noisy. As you can see, it does a pretty good job. Got a little bit of a spot there. I'll fill that later. We'll flip it over and run the other side. So I'm going to move you over the other side so you can see coming out. So hang tight. All right, here we go again. So there's our cutting board, ran through, cleaned up real nice. Now we got to do a little sanding. So hang tight, we'll get set up to do some sanding. All right, so here we are. We're set up, we're going to do some sanding. We're going to clean this up and do some sanding. Got some marks in there. I got 120 grit sandpaper here, and let's get started on it. Got my dust mask on, and here we go. Here we go. I'll sand for a while, and then I'll cut the video for a second. As you can see, this is going to take a while. Kind of boring. I'll do a little sanding here and then I'll be back, so just hang tight. Alright, so we done a little sanding, and what I noticed is I got a couple little pieces here that I need to fix. Little indentations right here. So what I'm going to do, I got one on this side and then one on the other side. So I got me some sand, some sawdust here, some thick CA glue, and we'll take this as soon as I get the cap off. And we'll put a little CA glue in there to do that. Okay. So to fix these, I'm just going to put a little thick CA glue in there. And I'll take a little, since this is white, a little sawdust, put on top. And just kind of tap it down in place. Take my activator, do that, and that'll dry. I got one on this side, the same thing here. This one's half walnut and half that. So I'm going to put a little CA glue in it. Put a little here. And I'm going to try to keep the stuff off to one side. So I put a little walnut on this side. And just kind of tap it in. Use a little activator. And then I got this one down here. Do the same thing I've done with my walnut. Put a little CA glue in there. Take a little sawdust, put on top. And that's one thing about, save your sawdust and you can fill little gaps like this. And that will take care of them. All right, clean this up. I'll put this off to the side and we'll be right back, and I'll do some sanding, so hang on. All right, so now I got the majority of the sanding done, but I want to trim this up so that I can square it up, do that. So we're at our table saw, and we're going to trim up this edges and get rid of the excess wood. Okay, so I got my thing here, and we're going to cut off that little bit there. Okay, come around this side and we're going to cut this side off. Okay, that takes that off. And I'll go run this through the joiner and clean up these edges and we'll be good. So I save these pieces for scrap for doing a turning project I do. Put them in my scraps. I don't throw a whole lot out. I was going to run this across that, but I'm going to run it across the joiner and clean that up first and then go from there. Hang tight. All right, as you can see, I ran that across the joiner, got a good clean cut. That's clean. So let's get ready and do some more sanding. Hang on. All right, so we're back. We're going to do a little sanding on this. So we're going to put our dust mask back on, do some more sanding. So the other thing I want to do is I want to chamfer the edge a little bit. In fact, let's do that first. Hang tight and let's go chamfer the edge. All right, so what I got is my sander. I just put it down at a 45, and I'll just take this and lay it up here, and we'll trample the edge. So, one of the things I want to do, I'll show you how I do that. Slip that back up there, find me a pencil, and I'll show you a little trick to find out where the edge would be. So I just take a pencil and I lay it here and I just draw a line like that. Like that. Like that. I'll flip it over, draw one on the other side. And last one, like that. And now I take this back to where I had it, all the way down. And when I do it, I sand up to that line. And it'll be good. So here we go. As you can see, got right up to that line. Do all four sides. Flip it over to the other side. As you can see, I'm right up to my line all the way around. Let's go do some sanding. Hang on. All right, let's go continue our sanding. Okay, plug me back in. We just do a little more sanding. I'll continue to do some more sanding and then I'll be right back. All right, we're on our final step here. Basically, we got it all sanded. So I take some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol or denatured alcohol gas it is, put it on a rag, and I just wipe it down. Okay, gets all the dust off of it. And it'll show you if you have any scratches or anything you missed. But it cleans off all the dirt, dust. Wipe it down good with that. And as you can see, a lot of dirt on there. So, just wipe it down good with this. All right. That being said, I think we're in good shape. So that's that. The other thing is, since these rags got alcohol on them, you just don't wad them up, throw them in the corner. You got to leave them dry out. So what I got here is I like to finish cutting boards with coconut oil. It's food grade coconut oil, real safe. Works great for finishing like cutting boards and things like that. Get you around here where you can see. Let's see what I'm doing here. All right. I think that's good. Let's get you over here. That's better. All right. So you can see I just take this. Actually, I'm in the shadow, ain't I? Hang tight. All right. Sorry about that. So this is just coconut oil. I put it on a rag. You can see it's just plain old coconut oil, nothing major. Put it on a rag, and I just basically rub it in. And since it's food safe, you can use your hands, and you don't have to wear gloves or anything like that. And as you can see, it brings the grain out. And just kind of keep rubbing it in. And the more you rub it, obviously coconut oil melts at like 70 degrees. So, you know, the friction from rubbing it is going to rub it in, and it won't hurt your hands one bit. It's actually good for your hands. So just rub that in real good. Across the ends, sides. And you can use as much of this if you want. You're not going to hurt it any. So, and like I said, it just melts right into the. I think it does a great job. And you can see the difference between this side and this side. See that? And then you look at this side. So I'll do the back side here. And then you usually rub it in real good, leave it set, and I might rub a second coat on it later. And you can use cutting board finish and all that stuff, but you know, coconut oil is food grade, it's food safe, and your cutting board thing has got a lot of dryers in it and things of that nature. So if you're trying to be, as they say, organic, you know, this is a good finish, I think. I know there's probably people out there that will disagree. I know I've heard comments about it. It's not a good finish, doesn't last, blah, 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 blah. But like I tell my customers when they buy these, I tell them it's finished with coconut oil versus shellac or polyurethane or anything like that. You can cut on it, and you can redo the surface of it very easily. Just get you some more coconut oil, or you can use walnut oil, anything that doesn't go rancid, obviously. You know, your Mizzle oil, corn oil, that kind of stuff you want to stay away from. Olive oil, I'm not sure about, so I can't speak to that one. And I think that will do it. So, hope you enjoyed this video. And there's my cutting board. I think it looks pretty good. It's real nice. Make a nice little, put a block of cheese on there and serve that like a charcuterie board or whatever you want to do. So that's my take on a cutting board. Hope you enjoyed it. It was fun to do. I hope she likes it. I got this one. So just as you wonder, the one we put together today, let's go look at it and I'll show you. Just so you know that I wasn't nuts, right there it is. It's still in the clamps drying. I'll leave it in the clamps for probably till tomorrow night. And I'll probably take it out and then start finishing it the same way I did this one here. So, all right. So there's our cutting board. I just wanted to share that with you. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked the video. Pretty interesting video. You can make it. And like I said, I did this one. Was another one that was made out of some scrap pieces. They're, you know, not very long, so they're harder to use for some projects. So I just hang them around and keep them around, and we use them for stuff projects like this. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to share, subscribe, like. Send me some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on this one. If you've done any of the projects that I've done so far, send me a video or send me an email of what you've done and maybe some pictures, and maybe we can share them across the other subscribers and members, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks for joining me at Woodchip Woodworking. My name is Paul Courtwright, and have a good day. We'll see you next time. Good night.